All right. So once again, welcome to Educare tutorial, a webinar on HR management, and we're going to be focusing on mainly the personnel information management as it concerns salary payment. All right. So I'll share my screen now so that all of us will be in tandem. Starville. That's educare.school. So can everybody see my screen now? Can you see my screen now? Can everybody see my screen? Please unmute and indicate if you can see this. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
with
can you
you?
hear me? Oh,
Loud and
okay.
clear.
Okay, fine. All right. So now the HR module is right here, and usually everything is broken down into 3 different sections during the webinar: the setup, the administrative setup, the personnel information management, and then the rest of the HR activities. So it's true that we are going to PIM directly, but it's important that we introduce the configuration because the configuration spans across everything, including the PIM. All right, so the administrative configuration is right here. You can always go there from the dashboard using the first card here called admin, that is administrative configuration. Personnel information management is here, PIM, and then you have the leave, the recruitment, the discipline, and the training, amongst others. So under administrative configuration, one of the most important aspects of it is the job menu. The job menu is where you decide the salary components. The job menu is where you key in your job categories, your pay grades, your job titles, and other things. So because of that, we usually start from there. So the salary components, as you can see from the sub menu, is a place where you enter the basic key components of a salary payslip. Whenever you want to generate a payslip, of course, the items that you have on the salary components are what you use in advising the personnel information, the salary payslip of a particular personnel. So definitely, everything starts usually with the basic salary. That's the reason the basic salary does not have the delete button. On every payslip, there should be at least one payment component. That's one salary component. By default, it is called basic salary, but you can change it to anything you want by clicking the edit button and then changing the name if that's not what you call it. That's number one. The second part is the the button to add a new one. If you want to add a new one, from the top right of the table, you can see the plus button, and then the salary component is the box where you enter the name of that particular salary component. For instance, let's say I want to add COVID-19 palliative allowance, or palliative allowance for short. Palliative allowance for short. I know that this is an allowance, so the type is earning. You just toggle, you click on the button to toggle it from deduction to earning. So the type is earning, and then the value type, is it percentage or exact amount? If it's percentage, that means it's percentage of the basic salary. If it is exact amount, that means you're collecting either 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 naira life. Okay, so and then we have the part of payable, whether it is part of what the employee takes home. There are items that the employee take home, but there are others that are consumed as part of the job. For instance, if your school gives lunch, lunch is an expenses on the head of an employee, right? But you don't put the lunch in the salary of the employer. in the employee, even though it is an expenses on the head of the employee. So if you want that to be part of the salary component, you want to show lunch, even though the lunch is not given as money, monetary value of the money, the lunch is not given, then that means that it is not part of payable, even though it is part of the expenses the company incurs on the head of the the employee. So that is what the part of payable and cost to company entail. All right. So, and to add a new one, just once you have entered the name, chosen these other options, the next thing is just click on add salary component, and instantly you'll see that it joins on the list. By default, we have entered about 15, so you can add, delete as you wish. All right, so this one is an earning type. As you can see, there are earning types, there are deduction types, there are value types of percentages, and some others exact amount. You can see the ones that are part of payables and the ones that are cost to company. All right, so that is the first part of the setup. The second part is the job categories, which is by default the academic staff, the non-academic staff, and the administrative staff. If you have other job categories, what we mean by job categories is a unit or session, right? Or faculty, right? So they are called job categories. And mostly teachers are under academic staff. Securities, service workers, and others are usually non-academic staff. Then we have the administrative staff, where the admin currently belongs to, the accountant belongs to administrative staff, and so on and so forth. So if you have more, again, top right of the table, you can add more. If you want to edit anyone, you can edit it on the row of the particular um, uh, category that you want to edit. Then we have the pay grades. We want to do the pay grades before we go to job titles, because during the job title inclusion, you choose the pay grade of that particular employee. So, of course, we know what pay grade is talking about, the grade level of a particular employee, right? Some people count their own in grade levels. Like, I know that once you're a youth service, if you're a graduate and you've gone to youth service, upon passing out, you are grade level 8. If you are to be a teacher or a government worker, you're coming in as grade level 8. And it keeps growing like that, right? And then we have the other ones, like normal teachers, they count their own in steps, step 1, step 2, and all that. So here you can edit the steps and choose exactly the basic salary. The basic salary, remember, that's the minimum and maximum here. It's talking about the basic salary, not the allowances. So for instance, our president, I know the basic salary is 1 naira, but all of us can attend to what, we can attest to what allowances does to them. Our senators and all, their basic salary is 50 naira, and then you have the allowances, the wardrobe allowance and all that. So now, and hardship allowance. Okay, so here we have the grades, and or rather the pay grades, right? And all you need to do to change any of them is just open it. You can change the name, you can change the exact amount, and then you select the currency of interest and you edit, and that is it. If you do the same thing for, let's say, step 7 is 120, and step 8 is step 7 to 8 is 120, step 9 is 170, and so on and so forth. So you just set that up here and edit. That's all. That's save. Basically the same thing as save. All right. So, and once all that are done, the next one is I'll quickly go over to, okay, let me do step 10 also. I'm only editing these so that I can use sample sample pay grade, or rather I can do a sample pay slip. All right. So the next one is the job titles. The work shifts, I would have gone to work shifts, but right now it's not much of a change because you only have daytime work shift and nighttime work shift, and you can always change your resumption and closing hour by simply editing this, change the time, and that is it. All right. If you want to add a new one like middle day work shifts, this is it. Just click on, again, the top right of the table. That's where you find the button for new. Okay, please kindly interrupt me at any point in time where you are lost in anything. But I want to believe that so far so good. We are good, right? Are we good? Are we good? Hello.
Yes, sir.
We are good.
Okay, okay. So
We're
kindly.
sending you messages on the chat.
Okay. So all right.
Yes.
That'll be fine. So that would yes. You can also keep note of your yeah. You can also keep note of your questions or observations on the chat. Okay. So now the next one is the job titles. Very very important. In fact, this is where you decide the job description of any particular staff. The teachers, what's their job title? Teacher, which is under academic staff, right? The instructors, the academic administrators, and everybody, the executive director, is where you decide each person's job title. And this is also where you upload the job spec file, that is the job specifics, the specifications of that particular job title. The idea is that once you have it up here, it doesn't matter how many years old your HR stayed and left and another person replaced him. Once the new person comes in, the job descriptions are already there. If you're employing a new person, all you need to do is come to this place and get the spec file. So, for example, let me add a new. Let's add a counselor. Let's add a counselor, guidance guidance counselor. All right, and of course, it's all about academic guidance counselor for students, something like that. So of course that's because it's academic staff. Let's say the pay grade is 1 to 6. Then here you select the job spec file. The job specifics can be something as simple as, let me quickly get a job spec for a teacher. Okay, so I just search for that, and when I find one that I know matches what I want, something like this now, I simply save a copy of it in my desktop on my desktop and upload it. So when I'm uploading this, okay, so here, this is where I select it to upload teacher job description. That's all. And then here I can put a simple note to let the person refer whoever is coming to where to find more details, right? Kindly refer to the job spec file for more info. Something like that. Any note can go there. So once you do that and you click on add job title, you can see it adds the new job title together with a job spec file, which you can download at any point in time. And it will give you exactly what you ought to see as a teacher, what you ought to see as an accountant, and so on and so forth, as long as it concerns the school, right? So that is how simple it is. Now, I would have wanted us to continue with the rest, but let's quickly go to the ones that are very important and peculiar to this tutorial. Employment status is not that much of a hurdle. It simply contains the list of the employment status that you currently run. Do you have permanent staff? Do you have contract staff? Do you have freelancers? Are they full-time? Are they part-time? You list it here. Please kindly recall that everything in administrative configuration is, just as the name goes, a configuration, a global configuration. So it's more or less like building up a library that will be used across the span of the HR module. All right. So job titles, for instance, we'll find out where to use it under PIM. Things like competency list, we'll find where to use them under appraisals. We'll find where to use them under recruitment. So, but for the scope of this tutorial, having set up the job menu, we can quietly go ahead and set up maybe 1 or 2 PIM so that we fire down immediately to payment specifics. On that note, we go over to PIM. Later on, please kindly refer to other videos that we have on this to catch up on competency list, qualifications, and others. but very, very important is the HR operations permissions. This is where you decide who manages your HR, who sees what, who has access to what, right? And here you can see the people that should be able to see salary components, the people that have access to job categories. They are all here. Mr. Benjamin, Mrs. Adenike, Mrs. Alero, Flourish, Timothy, and so on and so forth. Any of them that you don't want to be on the list, kindly click on edit and uncheck the person's name from the list. This is the list. So here we have Ene, Alero, Adenike. If I don't want any other person on the list, I can quietly uncheck the rest. You can see the rest here. My Fidelis, Makundu, Flourish, Timothy, right? You can always uncheck any one of these. Okay, and save. So once you click on that save, you can see, yeah, instantly it will reduce their, it will remove their access rather. Okay, so now on a very important note, PIM is a very long list of profile to be filled for every staff.
Hello, sir. Sorry, sir.
Hello,
Mr. James.
Hello,
Yes.
sir. On this PIM, this personal information management,
Yes.
you were saying these are the people that have access to it.
Where do we get to where we see those that have access to staff info?
HR.
Okay, HR, yes.
Yeah. So here we have it, still under operations permission.
No, what's the main menu, sir?
Everything that has to do with operations permission. I mean, sorry?
That's HR manager.
You say what's the main menu for HR, for PIM?
No, where to see where you are now. How do we get there?
Yes.
Sorry.
How to get to this place?
Yes, under HR manager.
It's right here. HR operations permission.
HR operations permission. Okay, I've seen
under
it.
admin configuration,
Under
HR operations permission.
Okay.
Yes.
You do not have access to this information. Kindly contact admin
Also,
for further inquiry. Okay, I've seen it. Okay,
exactly.
Yes.
That is what you see
Okay,
if you
now,
are not given access to it.
Yes, we can see some names. Hello, sir.
Yes, you said?
We can see some names. But some of these names are no, we don't want them to have access to it, some of these names.
Yeah, so all you need to do is just click edit, remove the names you don't want. But for a default setup, you can quickly tell me the names so that I will do them for you for now. But henceforth, you can always click on the HR operations permissions and select the names of interest.
Okay, you know what? This is just for salary. This arena we are. I don't want them to see for salary. Only Olabode and Alero.
So let's see. So Alero should see it. Who again?
Yes, Olabode.
Olabode. That's the second and third. Only these are the only ones that should have access to this.
Two for salaries.
What of the rest?
The rest, I will give you their names.
So this is what we are going to do. After the tutorial, I'm going to set these two by default. Then any other one you want, you can always add them yourself.
Okay.
All right. I'll set these two by default across all.
Yes, this by default is just for their salary component, something salary. The rest, maybe HR, appraisal, those ones, there are people that still need to see them.
That's what I'm saying. So once I set this by default, because for these two persons now, they will see other components too, right?
Of course.
So they will see for virtually every component in HR. So we're going to set them by default across all the components, all right? And then for every other one, you know what you are looking for, so you just go there and add the person. Where you want everybody to see everything. For instance, my info, like this, my info now, everybody should have access to it. Where you
Yes.
want such access, you just remove.
Appraisal.
So things like appraisal,
Mm.
right? Who can view appraisal list? Who can view who can view appraisal list, for instance. That should be available to everybody, because if you are given appraisal, you should be able to see it.
Then job description.
Good job description and all that. So anybody that you want to be, if you want this one to be global, like everybody should see it, then all you need to do is open this edit, click on the list of all rows and select none. That is, remove everybody's name. That becomes unrestricted.
Okay.
Can you see? That becomes unrestricted. What it means is that anybody that has access to HRM can access it. Chicken.
Okay.
But very, very important is this part, my info. My info, as you will see almost immediately, is
Where is
usually
my
locked.
info? Sorry, sir.
My
It's
info.
number 4
I
at the
think
top.
yes.
Yes.
So you can see that it is usually locked for each person.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But the idea is that when you are under employee list and you want to fill in for, let's say, Benjamin now, all right, Mr. Ben. When you are filling in for Mr. Ben,
Let me come.
Mm.
Let me come. Let me
you are
come.
going to fill in everything yourself as admin. You're going to fill for Mrs. Adenike, you're going to fill for Rita, you're going to fill for everybody on this list
Individual.
individually. You understand? And the list is quite enormous. You know the profile you collect from staff.
Mm.
It's very enormous. So let's take Benjamin, for example. You're going to fill the personal details, the profile, the contact, the dependents, and everything. Some of these things, if you fill the personal details, maybe at the point of recruitment, if you fill the personal details, you should allow the person to fill some of these other ones by himself to lessen the work on the HR, and then you lock it down. So that locking that locking and unlocking process is what we have here under HR operations as enable staff to fill personnel information. So when it's closed, they don't have access. But when it's open, they can fill it themselves.
Okay. So after they are filling, we can now log it.
You can unlock. Okay, so that's how it works. So for the
Okay.
big for a start, I'm going to fill in for Dele right now. I'm going to fill in for Mr. Dele, and then Mr. Dele, when we enable, we're going to, okay, first of all, let's start from here. I think this should be able to filter down to Dele.
Where do I go to now?
So to see the list of everyone is PIM employee list.
Yeah.
That's all. So once you're here, you should be able to see the list of everyone here.
Employee list.
Yes, employee list. So here you have both the teachers and other non-academic staff. All of them are here. Okay, so there's about 100 and something of them, or 200, I
Sorry,
think.
now those names that have left us, am I going to do edit to edit it?
So for those that have left you, you will have to deactivate their contract. So you can see contract active for almost everyone.
Where will I go to contractor?
You can see contract active is active for everyone.
Yes.
The reason we don't allow delete is, assume that this was a manual work. You have a cabinet where you keep their files. If somebody
Yes.
leaves your school, do you tear or burn down the?
No.
You don't burn it. It's part of the system, right? Good. So because of that, we don't allow deleting of staff. All we do is allow you to terminate the person's contract. That's all.
Okay, we deactivate. But like say a few years to come now, the person comes out, we can activate the person. Maybe.
That is as simple as that. You don't have to start afresh. Okay, so I'm going to use one person here. Madam, what's your name?
Olabode. Adenike.
Okay,
Number
all right, perfect. Number 2. I'm going to use number 2 now as an example of this. So this is your personal profile. The title remains Mrs. Adenike.
yeah.
Any middle name?
Florence.
Hmm?
Florence.
Florence. So I'm going to leave it with F. Alabode. Okay. So, of course, the employee ID is the state PIN that the system automatically generates for everyone in your in the state. All right. Then we have the other
No,
ID.
I think
For instance,
whether employee ID.
yeah, you say.
I did.
Okay. So the system assigns a state PIN to
Hmm.
every school based on
Okay.
their state, and
So,
that is unique across the state. You cannot find two persons using the same number in a state.
so this number now is generated for
It's
me.
generated for you and it's unique
Okay.
to you. But
Okay.
then in your school, there might be other employee IDs that you use, things like
Okay. ID
STV
card.
slash good, something like that. So you just key it in the other ID. Then the job title, of course. What's your job title currently?
Administrator.
Admin. So if we look around here and we don't see it, okay, I can see academic administrator here. You can always change this later, but this is where to choose the job title and of course the employee status. Remember when we are keep keying all these things in here under job categories and titles, we were keying in, and even employment status, we key them in as a library or configuration. This is where we use them. Okay. So here you key in your driver's license or national ID card. That's NIN number. Are we together?
Then I'm in a training again. Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we key in the expiry date of the identity number, or yeah, the identity certificate. That's driver's license or national ID card or anything. The expiry date. The gender is female. The marital status is married, and nationality is Nigeria. And date of birth. Please, I'm keying in anything here. Eventually, you have to edit this. Okay,
Okay.
so once you have done this, okay, and you are
Sorry,
at this,
sir. This driver's license national ID card.
yes,
Is it the expiry date or just the number?
is it what?
Is driver's license number?
Yeah, this is where you key in the driver's license number, and this is where
I
you key in
know.
the expiry date
In
of
the
the driver.
absence of one, we leave it.
Okay, so it's very important, but yes, in the absence of a national ID card, but then why? How does the person survive in your school without any means of identification? Everybody should have a means of identification, please.
So,
Yeah. So driver's license, national ID, voter's card, all those things. Just key them in and that's it. All right. So this is the very first time that HR instance is created for this personnel.
sorry, for this employee ID, I mean job title. You know
Yes.
the job shows, but there is no administrator there. I just want to put head of admin, but it's not typing.
So you try to put head of admin. It's not here.
Eh,
Remember that this is a list that you have already
okay,
built in from here.
okay,
This
okay,
is job titles. So if the title in question is not on the list, this is where you go to add it. So this is where you can come to and you say head of
where?
admin. Again, from admin tab under job menu, job titles.
Okay,
Are you there now?
okay.
All right. So
Job
this
title.
job menu, job titles.
Yeah.
So and then you can click at the top right of the table and add head of admin.
Okay. Add job title. I'll just put head of admin.
Yes, and then add a description to it. can say administrative head. Category, of course, is administration, right? So it's administrative staff. You can choose the pay grade and then give it a job specific file. That's job specification, right? Description, JD, and then add job title. So have
Sorry,
you done that?
job category admin.
Yes, administrative staff.
Staff.
Yes. You are doing that from your own end,
Select
right?
pay grade. Okay, this one I can select anything, but we don't have pay grade now.
Okay.
Mhm.
So eventually, when you set it up, you select the
Yeah.
right pay grade.
Then add job title.
That's all.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if you have added it, I'll see it here as number 11. Have you added it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We
so
step 1 to 6.
perfect. So you can see it on my screen
Yes, sir.
right there. Head of admin, administrative head under administrative staff. So if I go back to your employee list and open Mrs.
Where did
Adenike
you go? You still go to admin?
PIM.
Okay, yes, PIM.
So under employee list, if I go to
Yes.
Adenike right now, yes, right here, I can key in Mrs. Adenike, middle name
Lawrence.
F and Allah Bode. Okay, and then every other ID card, that's any other ID number that you have, maybe STV stuff for Starville slash 2019 or 2018 slash 78546, something like that. So yeah, now you see the job title shows up here, head of admin,
Yes.
and the employment status, permanent, and then the driver's
Yes.
license, and then the expiry date. Okay, that's it. Gender is female, and the marital status is married in Nigeria. Is the nationality, and you key in the date of birth. I'm not going to ask you. I'm just going to choose anything I want from now. Right. So with that, save, and that is it. You have opened this person's profile. So you can now, if you have done this for everyone, you can stop there and let them fill in the rest. It's not everything, anyways, that they can fill. Any employee should be able to modify the personal details to a certain level, should be able to modify the profile picture, modify the contact, modify emergency, modify dependents, but should not be able to modify career path. Career path, you key yourself as the HR. You decide whether the person is coming in as entry level, what is the job title of the person, what's the job specification, like full-time, permanent, when did the person join. You're the one that employed the person, so you should know when the person joined, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the join date is different from the start date, right? So because of that, you should also decide when the person started. Some people start the same date, others start a different date. So with that, a new career path will be created for this personnel. They can only see this. Every personnel should be able to see his own, but not every personnel does what? Edits. So this edit button and everything is usually hidden for them. Now they can only see it, they cannot edit, even if my info is open for them.
Well, I even
All right.
tried to save the one you did for me now. It's not saving.
Come again.
I tried to save my own staff personal detail, but it's not
Exactly.
saving.
Okay, so you opened your personal detail from my info.
Yes, but it's not saving. You know, I tried to
That's
import
because
all this.
this is locked.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because this is for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So by the time it's open, that's if you are going from my info. But if you're going from PIM employee list, once you have access to this, that means that you are permitted to edit for others. So you can always edit for anybody. But if it's from my info, that is your own personal info For instance, I'm currently logged in as Benjamin. So if I want to edit Benjamin's profile now, I'll click on my info. And the only way this will be open for me to edit, like these ones and everything here, the only way this will be open for me to edit is if PIM is unlocked. And where do you unlock that? From operations permissions.
PIM locked. Profile editing has been locked by admin.
Exactly. Good. So, but if I click on it now and it opens, I can go to my info now and I can edit my own. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
I can edit it. Good. All right. So let's continue with the employee list for Mrs. Adenike. I want to set your own up and also set up Dele's own. Dele, you are still there, right?
Daily just set up.
Okay. All right. No problem. We can even use just yours. It's okay. All right. So now, having set up this, you can continue with the rest because it's open under my info. You can set your profile picture. You can set your contact details, emergency dependents. I've set career path. The next is the salary, the one that concerns us anyways, the salary and the account details. The other ones, you can always get to them later. So let's
Sorry,
look at the
where do I
salary.
go now? Where are you now?
I'm on salary under PIM for
From
Mrs. Adenike.
oh, okay.
Employee list
You said
Adenike
I left.
salary.
I didn't leave.
Okay, I told him that
I am with you. I'm watching it via YouTube, the live stream. Mr. James.
Perfect. That's good.
I'm
Yes, I
with
heard
you.
you. That's fine. That's fine.
so they will set you up too. So we were just
All right. So if you're following us on YouTube, you are welcome. Kindly note that you can always leave your comment on the chat
Yes,
list,
yes.
and we can always get
Are you watching the chat list, sir?
Sorry.
If I post something on the chat list, are you seeing it?
So can you post something? Let's see if we can see it.
Okay.
Can you post anything? Let's see if we can see it.
I have. I've done that.
You just did that?
I have. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's see if I can see that. Live chat. Okay, nothing yet. I'm sure it will come in.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, so but do you see my live chat? I just said hello. Welcome to Educare webinar.
Can we just proceed? Let's leave that one.
Okay, let's just proceed anyways. Oh, okay, you are leaving it in the chat group. No. Dele, you are leaving it on the GTC chat list. That's fine. I can see all those ones. Seen. Yes, okay, sir. Well done, sir. All those, I can see them, but the one I'm referring to is the one on YouTube. YouTube comments.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's continue, please. One moment.
We want to go to salary now. Salary. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just a moment. Would you please Slack me? Send a Slack message. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let me continue sharing this so that we round off. Okay, thank you very much. Now, having set up this, the next is the salary.
Yes, so I go to salary under Adenike.
Yes, the opening concept is the personal details. You must open personal details for everyone, but you can allow them to fill in some of these by opening the operations permissions for them. They can fill the rest. So, but salary, you are the one to set up their salary component. There's their payslip. You are also the one to set up their account details. All right. So let's start with the salary component. Here we have the staff salary. Currently, there is no structure available. Let's start with a new one. Let's say it is the entry point salary structure. That is the point of recruitment, right? Let's
Yeah.
say the pay grade is step 1 to 6. You see automatically that the minimum and maximum has been set, which means that at the point of bargain with this personnel in question, you bear in mind that if the person is coming in at step 1 to 6, between
I
step 1 and 6,
think
that the
uh,
maximum the person can ever bargain for is 100, and I mean
um,
120, and the minimum you can ever pay the person is 100.
sorry,
So
when
what
you
it means,
click salary, it brings you to salary structure.
yes, when you click on salary
Yeah.
right here, it doesn't
Mm.
open salary structure, it opens the salary history. That's the table. But from this table now, you can click on add to create a new salary structure for the personnel.
Mm.
All right. So when you click on that add, it shows you the salary structure form, and all you
Sorry,
require
where will I see
is
add?
okay. So just
Okay, yes. Oh,
have you seen it at the top?
yes.
At the top of the table. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Now,
now I can see pay grade.
exactly. So you select the pay grade. Remember that in the admin configuration that we set up the pay grades. One, that's 1 to 6, 7 to 8, 12, 13, something like that.
13.
Good. So here now we're about to use it. And each of them, remember that when we were setting them up, that each of them we had a minimum and maximum basic salary construct, right? So for step 1 to 6, the minimum is 100, the maximum is 120. For step 7 to 8, the minimum is 120, the maximum is 150, and so on and so forth. So that means that for this basic salary, which is compulsory on the list, the minimum you can collect for this step 7 to 8 is 120. If you try to collect 100 or 90, the system will check that box as not valid. Do you understand? So the minimum you can collect
Yes.
is 120 and the maximum you can collect is 150. So if you try to pass 150, the system will also check the box red. Okay. So let's say the basic salary we are collecting now is 120. It doesn't stop us from adding allowances. So right now we can add conveyance allowance 5%. We can add DNS allowance of 500 naira. We can add
Sorry,
education.
are you on step 7 to 8 or step
Yes,
9? Which one are you
step
using?
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
Yes.
So I should click that one.
If you click that one, it gives you a minimum of 120.
But it's not, I'm clicking it, but it's not showing me anything. I need to be where you are now.
Okay, so to be where I am, first of all, go to PIM employee list. Are you there?
Mm. Yeah.
If you are on employee list, you should see the list of all the staff, which is right here. Can you see this list?
Our system is not a source of the
Okay,
it's still loaded.
I'll wait for you.
Okay.
Is it open?
After employee leave. Okay. Now I can see my own now. Educare.
Okay.
Number 2. I'm going to click on that one.
Just click on that anywhere on the list.
Am I? Yes.
Then go to salary.
Yes,
If
I've
you see
clicked on that.
salary,
That
then
is
go
personal details or
no, go to
salary.
salary.
I'm in salary. I'm on salary now. And
Beautiful.
it brought out salary structure type.
Good. effective date, pay grade, basic salary, allowance, and other things. That's the table of all the salary based, all
Yes.
the salary components that we are
Yes.
going to add. Now, you can see a blue add button at the top.
Yeah.
Click on it.
Yes.
Add.
Add.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you
Pay
click on
grade.
that, it shows you a structure. Select the pay grade.
Yes.
So
I've
for me now, I'm
selected it.
selecting 7 to 8.
Step what? 7 to 8.
Yes.
It's not selected.
Yes.
That was where I was that time. It's not selected.
Do you have the drop down list?
It was on the same grade I was when I asked you how can I navigate
Okay,
to
so
where
I'm
you
going
are.
to stop my screen now, and then I'm going to allow you to share yours.
I'm trying to select 7 to 8, but it's not selected.
It's okay. Let me stop sharing now. I want you to share your screen so that I can follow you instead. Dele, can you share the screen?
Okay. When we have it under
Then,
that's
employee list.
Dele, can you share your screen?
1 second, sir.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. That's me. Dot J I T dot S click on done, sir.
It is the way. Okay, no one to go.
Hello, sir.
Perfect. I can see your screen now. All right. So let's work with yours.
Okay.
So now go to salary. No, don't worry about those parts. Go to
Okay.
salary. Perfect.
Add.
Good. Click on add. Good. No,
Pay
not
grade.
there. Not there. Just the box. The box. No, that one is to add a new. That one will take
Yeah.
you to. That
A
one
new,
is
a new structure.
when a
Oh,
pay grade
yes.
that you're looking for is not on the list. That's when you click on that
Oh,
one.
Okay, when the person is
no,
not.
no, the pay grade. You know, when we have
Okay.
7 to 8, let's assume we have 5 to 6,
Oh,
and you
okay.
want to create a new one. And
Exactly. That is a shortcut to pay grade list.
That is not good.
network is poor, but
sorry, sir, just give
it's,
2 for
it's,
people.
it's fine. All right. So
So we go to
Salary.
salary. Yes.
Add.
Add. Okay.
then select good
Okay.
from the drop down. Select.
Okay. Again. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, we got it now.
All right.
Thank
Scroll
you.
down. Now scroll down to basic salary.
Great.
Basic
What?
Basic salary. Good.
Step
So
7. Yes,
Yeah.
basic salary.
yes, go ahead.
13.
We should put amount.
Yes. Put the amount. So you notice that if you try to put anything above
Before between 120 and 150, but between 120 and 150. No, it's just 150 naira.
Oh.
perfect. So now conveyance allowance, DNS allowance, you can just click on the checkbox at the top at the right. Activate that particular one, then enter the percentage. So it's
make it
5%.
10%. That's 15.
Good. If you make it 10%, that
Yes,
is
that's 10%.
basic salary. Then the DNS allowance, that one you can see that it is exact amount in naira. So you can put that one 10 naira or 20.
Just click inside.
Right.
Thank you.
Education.
Perfect. Then you can activate education allowance and others.
Okay. Okay.
That one is percentage.
20% now. That'll be taxing naira.
Maybe another 10%. Fine.
That's not percent. Yeah.
Allowance percentage. Leave travel allowance. Yeah.
Palliative.
Palliative allowance. Relocation.
You don't need to use all of them. It's not
You don't have to
compulsory.
put all of them. Yes. So anyone that is not necessary, keep it unchecked.
Anyone you don't want, you don't put it.
So now, the one that is peculiar to Starville school will be the one I'm clicking.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I will going to deactivate like this relocation.
Yes, give out all these ones. Anyone you don't want, deactivate them.
Uncheck it. The same thing goes with the deductions. The deductions are right. Yes. Health insurance, taxes, life insurance, professional taxes, fund contributions.
Like income tax.
So you remove that. What percentage?
So what's the percentage of the income tax?
Okay. We don't use all these allowances.
Okay, here. Is it
click, yes. Click.
Workshop.
Okay, so if you scroll down
to
go down on this page right now, you will see the total that will be accrued. Notice the first thing there, cost to company is 295, right? But total deduction is just 3 naira.
Okay.
Total payable is 277. So with this now, you can easily tell the person and whoever is seeing this in that comment box that this is prone to deviate depending on whether there is a disciplinary action or salary advance request that is pending repayment.
Okay, all these deduction now.
Do you understand that?
The narration will be on that comment.
All these, yes. So you can easily tell the person, please note.
Business. absent in tax.
Good.
These are going to be coming to discuss
Can
it.
affect the final payable.
They will see.
Sir?
Yeah, you can simply put something like that. The lateness, tax, and salary advance can affect the final take home. You understand?
I didn't hear you, sir.
Please come again, sir.
I'm telling you the kind of things that you can put under the comment box.
Okay. Under this comment.
Okay.
Okay. We got it.
All right. Once that is done, click on save, and a salary scheme will be created for Mrs. Adenike right there. Can you see that? So from here, you can see the total basic salary, the total allowance, the total deductions, and the final payable. So that final payable now is what will be part of the cost. It's what the system will have to send out. If you have to generate a payslip, right?
Cost of
Cost to company.
Yes. So in as much as the company
payable.
total payable is the take home for the particular personnel.
The cost to company, that's the one we deducted.
No, that is the for this particular pay slip. Anytime you pay this personnel, what it will cost the company is 295. But what the person is taking home is actually 277. That's because there are some components in the list that are actually cost to the company but are not payable to the staff.
I was thinking
What?
I was thinking it's just 3 naira. That is a
No, 3
deduction.
naira is the deduction, but some
Okay.
basic salary contents are maybe things that we are spent in kind, not in cash. I
So
mentioned
now,
we are setting it. Sorry?
for instance, my salary is 100,000.
Good.
And if for lateness, absenteeism, tax, everything they deducted 15,000.
No,
My
we'll get
stakeholder is
to
5,000.
that. No, we'll get to that one at the point of payroll generation. At this point now, this is like a standard.
Okay.
This is what a standard salary schematics will be for Mrs. Adenike.
Okay.
But at the point of payroll generation every month, the system will now check for any outstanding disciplinary or outstanding salary request, advance request.
Okay.
You understand? And then add it to the pay slip. So this is a standard payment component for this particular staff.
Okay.
All right. Now, the next and very important item is the account detail. That is the NUBAN, right? Where the salary will go to. Okay. So here, before we go further, let's revisit your finance module and make sure that there is a salary account, because there must be a salary account in the system that is affiliated with Flutterwave, and you must have access to your dashboard, which you already have. All right.
Okay. So
Yes.
where do I go?
Finance module. We'll come back to this, but let's make sure that your finance module is properly set up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Where do we go, sir? Under finance.
Account number.
Under finance, go to
Account number.
setup. No, account setup.
Okay.
Okay. So under account setup, click on your manage account heads. Manage account heads. You can see that there is no salary account. So just click on create account head.
This manage account head. Oh.
Account head.
Okay.
You want to create a salary account.
Okay, it's back on now.
Yes. So you want to create a salary account. So the account head name will be salary account.
Okay.
Select the people that should be able to manage it. Yeah, usually the admin, the accountant, the HR. Well, the accountant first for now. Scroll
Let
down
me
to
put
rest.
I think we should leave it for admin for now.
Okay, you can leave it for
Can
admin
we
for
add
now.
more later?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Okay, so change the account type to salary. Yes. Currency, Naira. Then go to Rave settings. That's Flutter Wave. Yeah. Open that API list.
I think what we are doing now, we done just once, isn't it?
Just once. You don't have to do this. So here now you have to select maybe the expenditure account. Yes.
No, salary account.
So no, this is, you remember that this is your API. This is your integrated. Yes, the integrated account to Flutter Wave. Yeah. So the idea is that once it's time for you to pay salary, you must have the amount that will be the total amount of the payroll should be in your wallet in Flutter Wave, so that once you give the instruction, the money will be dispensed automatically from your wallet. That wallet is the expenditure account wallet.
Okay, sorry, sir. Let me stop here. Let me ask a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, my question now is, we have salary accounts. If I don't put salary account now, how do we pay money in expenditure account?
Perfect. So does the salary account, is it part of what you have currently under the account numbers?
No, I can't say that.
Go to account.
I can't say the account number right.
You can't see the account number. The salary
For
account.
salary account, yes.
So after this demonstration, kindly
Yes.
send us the salary account for setup.
Okay.
All right. For now, select expenditure account. In fact, for now, let me quickly set up. Let me set up an API key that we are going to use for the demonstration. But immediately after the demonstration, kindly key.
Expenditure account.
Yes. Okay. So just give me one moment.
Sir?
Just give me a moment.
Okay, sir.
API.
Nǹkan tí ò tí ì yé mi ni báyìí. Ṣáwọn ló fẹ́ máa sanwó fún wa báyìí? Èmi nígbà mo fẹ́ wò ó. Wọ́n tèmi rò pé tèmi bá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
Àti sẹ́yìn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ẹ́lá àgbéṣe ẹ̀ wá lè fi ṣe lọ́dẹ́ lẹ́sìn. Ó ní wọ́n ṣe ń bá a lọ pé ọba kan ti dé ìtẹ́wọ́ ọ̀nà ìbílẹ̀ tí máa tán.
Nìzọ́lá láìkẹ́ àti ṣe é rí ní 2 years ago. Àwọn tó ti lọ bí wọ́n wá gbọ́ ọ̀gá ló lọ kí ìgbìmọ̀ kan lè.
Okay, so if you refresh the page now,
Yes.
just refresh the
But
page.
it's very fresh. Yeah, well,
Echo. How do we refresh now?
F5 or just click at the refresh button at the top.
Okay.
ilẹ̀ kílìkì. Wọ́n á tún gbé mi padà.
Ẹ wá lọ sí kìnnà.
Okay, go ahead, go to create account.
Finance. Finance.
No, you are still in the same place. The accounts, yes, finance account setup. That's where you are already. So create account head.
Sorry. Finance, then account number.
Account setup. Finance account setup. Open finance now.
This is finance.
Finance
Okay.
account setup.
Okay.
So you notice that I just added one more there, which is Winners with Live API. That's a sample, a demonstration sample. Later on, you are going to add your own salary account to this so that you can select it under the heads. Okay, so now go to the account head. The second tab at the top. At the top. Yeah, manage account heads.
Okay.
You don't do this often, so you're just going to do it now for the demonstration. And after that, you don't have to do it again. Okay, so create account head. Create a salary account head. Yes, so here now, the account head
Salary.
name is what?
Salary account.
Salary account. Then select the manager. In this case now, we said it should be just the admin for now. Later on, you can always edit it.
Search.
Yes. No, you've selected admin. That's fine. Click outside the box. Okay, so select the account, the chart of account type. The chart of account, that select account chart. That one that has school fee. No. Account chart.
I can't see salary.
You can see salary. What do you see? Anything office expenditure or something?
What service after school care? School fees, uniform, boarding fee, and the rest. Medical expenses.
What other expenses?
I can see support, staying.
Okay, so the chart of account for salary is not on the list.
Sir?
Chart of account for salary is not on the list.
Sir?
Salary expenditure is not on the list.
No.
So let's go to chart of account and add salary expenditure. Escape. Close this.
Where will I go?
Either you hit the escape button. Close this part for now. Let's go and add it.
Okay, so where do I
Chart of account. Finance, chart of account. Second one on the menu. Finance, chart of account, second one on the menu. Okay, so these are the ones that you currently have. Okay, let's add salary expenditure. Click on the plus button at the top right. The code. You can give it any code you like.
I can give it
7,000. Give it any code you like. 7,000 is fine.
Okay.
Hit the enter to proceed. Hit enter.
Okay.
No, still while in the code box. Hit enter. Yeah. Good. The account name, salary account, salary expenditure. You are still typing inside the code.
Yeah, okay.
Remove it. No. Remove it. Just inside the account box. Yeah. Salary expenditure.
Salary.
Good. Hit enter. Good. Select the group.
Group code. Is it expense?
Yes, it's expense account. Then I think it should be
Short-term liability.
so yes, it's the liability. So select that.
Liability. Select types.
Then the type is what?
Credit.
Debit.
Is it credit?
It's debit. You're removing money from the system. So then click the green button. Okay, so that has been created. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see it there. If it's not on the, it should be on the last page, page 5. Or
Click 10. Click 10.
yeah, right there, salary expenditure. Okay, so having added that, we can now go back to account setup. I just want us to create a salary account, right?
Yes.
Okay, so go back to account setup under finance.
Manage account. Look at account setup.
Account setup, manage account heads. Yeah, now create account head. Okay, so let's continue from where we stopped. Salary, salary account,
Manage
row. Okay, then salary chart, salary expenditure, then account type, salary, currency, naira, then rave setting. Remember I said you should send us your salary account. No, rave.
Okay.
Good. Select that Winners Viv demo account, live account.
What do you think? Scroll the number.
Yes. Later on, please, you will send us your own account so that we can integrate it for you. All right. So with that, you can save this. Yes. Okay. So having added that, that means now, right now, you have a salary account. Please remember that we need your own salary account to come live. All right. Okay. So now let's continue to our HR. We just came to finance to set up the salary account, but we are currently working on HR. So let's go back to our HR. PIM. We are using Mrs. Adenike as sample, right?
Yes,
Okay, so go ahead and click on that. And when it opens up, go to salary. We have keyed in the salary schematics, right?
Yes.
So everything is fine there. Now let's go to account details. Good. So here now we want to add the NUBAN of the personnel. So click on the add button. Select their bank. What's your bank currently?
First Bank.
Good. So select First Bank PLC. Good. Enter the account number. Immediately you will notice that the system will look for your account name automatically. Key in the name, the account number. Perfect. So there is no mistake to that name. That name is valid. The account number is valid. So save. So when you are saving it, the system automatically sends this message to Flutterwave that this person is a beneficiary of Starville. And you can see a beneficiary ID attached to this number. What it means is that when it is time for you to generate payroll and pay, the system will send this amount of money that is on that salary schematics to just this particular beneficiary. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So if the person has any need to change the account number, all you have to do is add a new one by clicking on add, and that one will become the active one. Any new account becomes the active one. And once you have more than two, the personnel can always decide, okay, I want number one to be my active account. You'll tell the admin, as in the HR. The HR will effect that. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So let's go over. This is the end of everything that has to do with payroll setup on the HR. If you do this for everybody, that is salary inclusion and account number inclusion. Once you have done that for everybody, you can proceed to payroll every month. For instance, this is January, right? Where do you see the payroll? Payroll is an account service. So you go to finance. You see payroll almost second to last. Or the last, I think it's last. That's the payroll. It's a service for HR. So when you click on payroll, the first thing you notice at the top right is the current balance in your wallet. Because of the Winners Vive Live demo account that we selected, our current balance is 785. When you put your own, it will show there. If you have 1 million, you will see it there. And if you want to top it up,
As in for my own personal,
No,
or from the school
salary account.
So this is what we have.
No, this is a demo.
Okay.
This is what we have in our demo account. So if you put your own, by the time you send me your wallet account, I mean your salary account details, and we set it up, whatever you have in your wallet as balance will always show here. All right. Now, based on today, we want to generate a payroll for every staff that has been set up properly under HR. Where do you think that can be done from?
Payroll status.
Payroll what?
I can see payroll status. No. You want to see?
I'm looking at a plus there.
Exactly. So just
feature.
click on that.
Plus.
The feature.
Yes. Hey, I click.
Perfect. So you want to generate payroll batch for month of January. Just click generate. Yeah. So when you click generate, every active staff with valid salary account and everything will be put together under one batch. That batch is January 2021 batch. So you can see the total basic salary, the total allowance, and the current payable that is waiting approval. Now, there are 5 buttons under the action column. The first button is for the details.
View details, okay.
The second button is for the processing of the payroll. And so on and so forth. So now that you have clicked on details, can you see that there is only one staff on the list for this particular batch? You can see the slip reference number. That's the slip number, yeah? You can see the exact amount that will be approved if you click approve right now. And where is the approve button? Can you see toggle, the toggle button, the yellow one? Click on it to approve. If you click on it again, it will change to reject. So that is how to approve and reject a particular one. So the idea there is, can you see it's rejected? What it means is that this one will not
be paid.
Be processed. Click on it again to activate it. Good. So this one is the approved one. So even if there are 100, if you approve only 50, that means that as long as this salary payroll is involved, only those 50 will be sent across for payment. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So are we going to be approving one? We just click a button.
No, you need to approve one because you need to actually this is money leaving your system. The moment you give that instruction, you cannot take it back. So we implore you to approve them one after the other. If there are 50, approve them one after the other. Ensure that what you are seeing under payable is what you really want to pay out.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. The default is not approved, sir.
The default is pending.
Pending. Okay, I understand that.
Right. So now
Okay.
let's go back to the payroll batches.
Okay.
All right. So you can see that currently there is only one personnel. The second button there says what?
Download Excel. No,
Button I said.
Okay. 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 View detail. The next one. That's process payroll.
Exactly. That is the one you use to give the instruction to the to Flutter with to process the payroll, to pay the people that have been approved. So click on that. Perfect. So it will one more time give you the opportunity of reviewing. So you can see the total that are payable. Can you see that?
Yes, 0.
Total that is payable. So currently you haven't approved any slip. Did you reject that slip again?
Yes. Should we approve it?
Yes, approve it now. That's the one we want to pay.
Oh yeah, hide it. All right, sir. We'll do that now. Close it. Second one. Let's see first button.
First button for details.
I don't want to approve it. It will go to my account.
Yes, I want it to go. This is a practical.
Yeah.
Yes, not what account to account.
Okay.
Okay. Not this one. That one. Build it.
Yeah, go ahead. No worry. Later on, you go send them back to me 2,000 folds. No worry.
It's good. It's good. Can I click it later? No, not that one. Click.
Approve. Perfect. Now go back to roles. So process it. Go ahead and process it.
The one before.
You see net approved payable now.
Yes.
Need for you to confirm your password. You must confirm that you are the ones sending out this instruction by putting your password, your Educare password, in the box provided.
Okay, I should the Educare password.
Yes, for Benjamin.
Okay.
Is it for Benjamin now?
I think that is currently logged on.
Okay.
Later, I log in as you. Okay, sir. Done.
That is correct. Then click process.
Okay.
Confirm.
Okay.
Now let's wait for it. If the password you entered is valid, this is processed. So now let's wait for you to receive alert, Mrs. Adenike. So that is the process is very simple, just as simple as one. All right. So if this were to be 270,000 now, this very simple schematics is enough, and you have done your payment. You can always come to this place to click on the sheet and download them and all that. You don't receive alert.
Oh my God.
We received
I heard
that.
it.
Your ears are very sharp.
Congratulations. So that is a very simple. That's the schematics. Nothing else. and you can always click on the Excel sheet to get the list. If you want to see the pay slip of the personnel, open that detail.
Details.
Yes.
Few details. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry,
View the
there is an
detail,
observation.
view the detail of a particular personnel. It will show you the pay slip and the breakdown of all the items that made up the 277. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the pay slip, which can be printed. You can print it and give to the employee and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we want to add in the next
Sorry,
future, in the nearest future is
hello, sir.
yes,
The alert, hello, sir.
yes.
The alert is not showing Starville School.
Okay, so that's because it came from our demo account. When you put in your own, it will show you the demo. What's the alert currently? What did it show you?
It just said payroll.
It just said what?
It said with a creditor with this amount, payroll batch.
Good. So that's because that's the name that we give to it. So I mean that's the name we give to our own account for demo.
Okay, now what's the charges like now? For instance, if my salary, if what Starville will pay me now is 150,000,
Yeah.
what will total wage charge?
The maximum they charge,
Hmm.
the maximum they charge is 52 naira. The minimum they charge is 21 naira.
Okay.
So from 0 to 5,000 is about 21 naira. From 5,000 to 500,000 is about okay. So from 5,000 and above is about 52 naira. That's maximum, and it's not Flutterwave charging you. It's the normal bank. What do you call it? Normal bank transaction charge, the one that the federal government CBN imposed. Yeah, because the moment you are making your transfer to the wallet, if there is any charge on your MasterCard, that one is done automatically. So you are just putting the money in your wallet. There is no extra charge for you to send from your wallet to any other account that is already a beneficiary in the system. Do you
Okay,
understand?
sorry, I still have another question.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, if we don't want to use Flutter waves for now, but I just want Educare where I can be recording and be keeping this payment stuff. Is it the same process I was thinking?
It's the same process, but the main thing is that you will not be able to process it. You just generate the payroll. You can always print it out and give the instruction to someone to go and
Like giving instruction to our bank to pay.
to your bank. Yes, so you can generate the payroll from here, print it on an Excel sheet, and I mean you can always generate an Excel sheet of the payroll and give the instruction to your bank. But you will not be able to process it on our system unless you use the Flutter.
Okay.
Yes, and the reason is because we have not. There is no in aggregator yet
Mm.
that permits our system to give direct instruction to a bank. The banks are decentralized. There is no aggregator yet for all the banks. Zenith Bank uses GAPS. I mean, GT Bank uses GAPS. Zenith Bank uses a salary app, and Diamond Bank uses their own. So there is no central integrator for such instructions. So because of that, we kept it pending, and we're using Flutterwave that we can easily give a transfer instruction. All right. So that is the payroll for you. The rest of the HR, I believe that with the video links that we will send across to you, you'll be able to catch up with them.
Okay.
All right. So any question?
No, I've been asking my questions in between.
Oh, yes, I noticed that. So, all right. So it's also very good that you had a hands-on experience.
Yes,
Now,
I want immediately we are off now. I need to go back again and check and start again.
that's fine.
Because it looks so simple though.
It looks what?
Like, yes, but
I
we
didn't hear
hear
what
from Mr. Delisha. I thought it looks so simple though. Until I get started on my own. But let me see how it will go.
Okay, that's fine. So when you
It's
start,
okay.
see how far. So
Thank
if
you, Mr. Dele.
at this point, and Mr. Dele, please, yes. So this will be the
Sir?
end of this moment. Or do you still want to hear from any other part?
Yes, when we want to do the general HR or appraisal, whatever, then we'll still call you and let you know for other help.
Yes. So that's the one I said that to catch up with the rest, I'm going to send you a previous webinar, a video link to previous webinars, and once
Okay.
you have gone through them, if you have more questions, then you can always return.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adela.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Okay, so you can start sharing now. You can log out.
Yeah. No, thank you.
How many laptops do we have in service?
22.
Just 22.
I'm 20.
How many desktops?
Two.
All right. Thank you very much. If you happen to be reviewing this on YouTube, you kindly note that you can always leave a comment for us and we will definitely get back to you. So once again, thank you for joining us. I remain James, and this is Educare. Goodbye.